Weed at? Rebecca the Fabulous One. I'm doing an evening show, something I haven't done in a very long time, but Holy Spirit told me, get on and tell them. Okay, you guys know I'm recovering from being poisoned. I was being poisoned for 10 years. So in 2011, I had a stroke, one stroke. I knew it was a stroke because, remember, I'm a medicine woman. When I felt my brain snap, I knew. I was like, oh shit. I just had a ball. All that shit, it was in my head, cleared out. But there are so many doctors out there that would take advantage of your brain injury. Like when I was coming out of it, do you know how many people told me the same exact story, that what I went through, they were going through? They had a stroke, lost their memory, or maybe a motorcycle accident, some kind of brain injury. And their family they got beef with suddenly came into their life. And the family knew that they didn't know them, or who they were. The thing about a brain injury, you can still look normal. Many people walk around and they speak, they have their same job, but nobody knows they have a brain injury. The doctors know, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. You have to care. But the same thing happened. They got robbed, and then the psych doctors came and started drugging them up and telling them that they had PTSD. First of all, if you don't have a memory, what the fuck would you be sad about? People are in pain about their past. Were they that stressed out about their future? The fact is, when you take any prescription, if you look at what the reactions are, the reaction is a mental illness. So why are you giving me a pill that makes me nervous and makes me shake, makes my face mask, gets me paranoid? There's not one mental illness out there that medication doesn't say that it is a mental illness, that they consider one. You could be sad if you want, but that's not why I got on, right? I had my stroke, and suddenly my evil daughter, who's a psychopath, she told me at 7, 8, 9, you know, when I get older and get taller than you, I'm going to get you. And I was like, get me how? I already knew she was a basket case. And thank God I put everything in writing. Now that she's in her 40s, calling this nigga dad. They knew all about the abuse and they joined in. But let me tell you, there was this guy in my building, that was helping me. He took the chain off my bike. It took him like 2 weeks to cut that chain because they had all my shit hemmed up. And my bike was outside. He kicked it down, glued the ignition up, stabbed it up. I mean, that was some real terroristic shit. Glued me in the house, glued all the mailboxes. Mine, of course, but there were other people's mailboxes that got affected. That's another federal crime, but we're not going there. So there are a lot of people that you live with that will poison you and you won't know. When you're around a narc, you're going to get sick. That's number one. You're going to have some kind of sickness, even if it's a cold or pneumonia, something with the lungs. So the guy that was helping me, right? He tells me, something told me to call him. I haven't seen him in 3 years. What happened to him? And he tells me that his father just got stricken with some sickness after he told his wife he wants to break up with her. And then I can like see her. You know, I'm a seer, which is a psychic, but a shaman psychic. I see everything. And I'm not putting myself out there like that because that's not the kind of work I want to do it on. Like, I'll do it in my kind of way, but I really am into my art. You know, I like art and healing and fashion and cuisine and dancing and stuff. I'm not into that. I'm really not. I don't want to look into people's future, and the shit I see is so disturbing. Most people can't handle it. They can't handle the truth. You know, that's why it's important to be in a healing path and in a healing circle where you're constantly healing. But when I told him, I said, you know, your mother, because his mother passed away, you know, I'm the Grim Reaper. Everybody that dies, I see them last. But so his mother was going to die. I knew it. And I gave her one of the thrills, but then she passed away. So then I'm like laying here, I haven't seen him. And she goes, Rebecca, pick up the phone and call my son. Call my son, please just call him. And I was like, okay, let me call him. That's when he told me about the dad. And I said, look, make sure you get him away from her, number one. Thank God I have a whole bunch of rental properties. And just tell him you're going to take him like to the gym and work out. Or tell him he has cancer. Remember I tell you about the cancer shit? Just say he's sick already. Because then if you name it a different disease, they won't be so paranoid and they'll have a reason to get away from them. And I gave him a whole regimen how to take care of him. But I said the biggest, before you do anything, cut his hair. Take a clip of his hair, put it in a bag, and take it to the doctor and explain the story that he's never been sick and suddenly he has blood problems. And they were treating him for it too. And he tells me that, yes, Rebecca, they found it. They found the poison in his system. That shit is deep. Outside today, I met 5 people. Same exact story. Same exact story. They are being poisoned by a loved one. Like I said, you wouldn't know it because in America, well, kind of worldwide, sickness is like not a big fucking deal. You're supposed to be sick. So if you are living with a narcissist and they let's say they crush up a bunch of nutmeg or some cherry seeds. So maybe you won't die because maybe they use only 3 or 4 of them. Even apple seeds are poisonous. Do you know that cherry seeds are cyanide? You don't have to buy cyanide. You can dry up 20 cents and you've created poison. You can just sprinkle it in the coffee. You know, when you live with a narcissist, you guys are there around your food and your drink. And believe it or not, it's not just food and drink. They can put it in your shampoo. Anything you ingest. So it could be lotion, anything. You would be shocked that person looking right at you and you're sitting there throwing up blood. Do you know I told you about my surgeon for my ankle? He was gorgeous. You know surgeons make money, all right? That's why doctors got dirty fucking uniform. Oh, you wear a uniform, they're filthy. But a surgeon is fly. This guy was so fly. Money suit, nice body. A tall white guy, like 6'4", beautiful. And like 2 years pass, I see him because my leg is still broken. And I tell him, you know that guy was poisoning you, right? He knew he was bugging because when it was time to fix my ankle, he only fixed 3 breaks because he was tripping. And he didn't even bother to put my foot in the MRI, which left 1 break. After I got out of surgery, you know, it was 1 break left, but whatever. That was really sloppy of him. Because, how about that? People always get the same karma I get. But when I saw him, I was like, oh my God, what happened to you? He gained about 80 pounds. He gained all this weight. He was like, but it wasn't like fatness. It was like bloatedness, the way I look. And then he had the spots on his like chest, you know, like around his neck. Not sunspots. These were like chicken pox marks. You can go on the CDC and you'll see it. That is from ingesting poison, a chemical compound. It could be a number of things. It could be a billion things. There are a billion chemicals out there that somebody can put in your anything to poison your ass. Especially when you tell them you're going to break up with them. That I'm tired of your shit, it's over. Remember, this is not your friend. This is your enemy. And if they're a narc, all narcs are delusional and have voices in their head. All of them are schizophrenic. Every last one of them. They're really sick and they actually hear that you're doing something to them. So they feel justified because that's Satan. They're all possessed. So Satan is telling them what to do. They're very sloppy. So what I'm telling you, remember I tell you about the 5 lies that if you are in a situation you want to exit out of, you got to play sick. You have to act like you have. I tell everybody, just act like you have a brain tumor. Go to the gym and say you were at the emergency room and they took a scan and at the front of your brain you have a small tumor. Okay, and with that, you'll start losing your memory. Go around them and say, didn't I give you my keys? You got to act as if you tell them you want to be out. Tell them you want them to stay. Because they'll figure out a way to get the fuck up out of there and leave your ass to die. You only have 1 year to leave. And then what I will tell you is to take your nail, cut it, and a piece of your hair and put it in a bag until you clear your brain up and you can figure it out. Okay, because the person is poisoning you. It's such a big deal. You know what narcs do? Narcs actually research everything. You know, they love dictators, right? Because they want to find out how they torture people so they can do it too. So what I'm telling you is, if you have a narc child, if you have a narc mother, if you have a narc husband or wife, a spouse, it is very possible that somebody is poisoning you in the household. It could, like I said, doesn't have to be your food. It could be anything. Like when he told me that, I have the text. I'm not sharing anything yet because I'm going to do this on, you know, I'm a businesswoman. So this is going to be on these are all my businesses. It has to be done right. I'm not into that putting shit out and I don't even want to go viral. For what? I have businesses attached to it. I always tell people, you want to go viral, you better take 3 or 4 or 5 years and prep yourself so you can have merchandise that you can sell and be in charge of everything, because going viral is a big fucking deal. It changes your whole entire life. If you market yourself the proper way, there is no rush. You got to heal first. You don't want a bucket load of money. This guy told me, you know, I wish I had a Rolls Royce, right? I said, a Rolls Royce, so where are you going to go? To the Chinese restaurant? You know they're going to kill you. Your friends are going to kill you. You pop out, and where are you going to park it at? And then where are you going? You know why? You want to make that, just give you some respect. You know, somebody put some respect on your name. You don't have to get respect from people you know. They can't disrespect you if you move away. You just have to move out of that space and heal yourself. Once you heal, you won't want a Rolls Royce. You want to take that money and put that shit in a, what is that, Nivea or fucking Apple or Amazon, some kind of account where it grows. And when you're making money, you don't need flashy shit. You need less. You'll wear jeans and a t-shirt, you know? That's all to feed the ego. All of it is to feed your ego. All of it is to feed your childhood traumas that sits there. I said, imagine, you know, if you have a wreck, right? And somebody has a car and they back up into you. You should be concerned about fixing that car, getting it to the shop, maybe even selling it, getting rid of it, fixing the injuries you have. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. Because I have actually the next show I have coming out, right, is it's called Pictionary, where I show you a picture and I tell you the real story behind the fucking picture. The real story. You already know. Narcs don't even take pictures with you unless it's a fake picture. You know, where it's like that family picture with like that school picture where everybody's standing looking crazy and shit. Yo, the shit is on the rise and doctors are off the motherfucking chain. Like I said, you know, I told you about the amounts of medicine they were giving me. They was like seeing how could they push me to kill me with the pills? And like I said, why would the pharmacy fill, 15 narcotics that don't mix and the numbers are maxed out? I found out that they had me on 400 milligrams of morphine, right? They also said I had a hip replacement. I have never had a hip replacement. They were trying to justify giving me all those fucking pills. But even if I did have a hip replacement, I wouldn't need 15 narcotics. Okay? So, but the thing is, why did the pharmacy fill it? That's why a pharmacist goes to school. So they could be a mediator in between the doctor, like even the PCP. She's supposed to guard everything. Look, you're on your own when it comes to taking care of yourself. There is no doctor out there that's going to fucking take care of you. All we really need is surgeons. For people that have accidents and mishaps. Other than that, you don't need a fucking PCP. And this is my shamanic medicine woman advice from what I've been through. I'm telling y'all, you do whatever the fuck you want. Okay? But it is more dangerous to go to a doctor with a disease, or if you're freaking out, right? Especially if you don't have any family that support it. Especially if you don't have family. Because they'll do what the fuck they want to you. Especially if you're in distress. You know, when I was 19, I had these stomach cramps. I was like, The reality, I was fucking this nigga named Lamont. He had a big ass dick. That was the first time I had a big dick, which I would never do again. That was during my trauma ages. You know what? My family was dying. I remember I was 20, right? And I had, you know what? I had PID. It's pelvic inflammatory disease, when something is hitting the pelvic and it gets inflamed, which just requires a week of antibiotics. That's it. These motherfuckers, because I have no family, I have no friends ever my whole life, right? These motherfuckers did exploratory, a chicken-eating nigga, black doctor, of course. Here we go, me getting attacked by black people again. This motherfucker rushed me into surgery, right? And gave me exploratory surgery and took all my organs out and put them back. So I had 180 stitches from the top of my stomach all the way down to my vagina. And for absolutely nothing. And he stands over me because, when I woke up, it was like 1 billion machines on me. And he's like, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But, we thought you were being a drama queen and maybe your appendix broke. Motherfucker, you can see that in an x-ray or MRI. See, the thing is, hospitals don't make that much money. They don't. Doctors don't even make that much money. Surgeons don't make that much money. You know who makes the most? The anesthesiologist. That's the one that got to keep your brain alive and keep ingesting something to keep you down. Okay? They don't make that much. And that was in 1990? It was 1990 that happened to me. 80 staples. They've been trying to scar me my whole life. I tell you, they even took my organ out. Took a fucking gallbladder out of me. And look, I tell you these things so y'all can live the best life. Oh, you see, this is my new treatment for my injuries. Is red light therapy. Please invest in a red light therapy. They have them on Amazon for $40. I have the one with 4 arms. Look, it is the best. I just place it after I put my drills on. I place it on my back. It feels. What it does is that's the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria is the cell that, it's like the dad cell, the boss. The dad comes home and fixes everything, pays all the bills. The mitochondria needs to be activated and replaced. So the cell constantly replaces. And when you have brand new cells, you have no pain. You have no age. You have no, you don't have any disease either. You keep fighting it. I tell everybody, you should act like you have cancer. You actually do have it. It's sitting in your body since you was a little kid, dormant, just a little piece of it. And it's very rapid. It grows very rapidly every time you eat some plastic. Every time you eat something processed. Every time you brush your teeth with toothpaste. The fact is, this country has to have people sick to make money. It's not even about money. We live in a narcissistic world where officials really do get off. Because they're narcs, right? They don't need any fucking money. It's the power of having power over people that are not bright enough to break themselves out of the matrix. Because that's exactly what it is. It's a programmed system that we are all born into, and it's in our DNA, and it doesn't matter what fucking country you're in. But you are so fortunate. If you happen to be an American, you're actually free. You can actually walk away. Do you realize if you guys were born in India, if you were born in certain parts of Africa, if you were born in the Middle East, you have to get married at 5 years old. You have to sell your kid. You have to. There is no way out. No way out. And these motherfuckers are shrewd. So you actually are free here. Nobody watching you, man. Nobody give a fuck about you, which is great. See, the thing about when religion and which is culture, right? Rules dominates a culture. It really does fuck people's minds up. It really does. But most of us come from the same exact pain. It's child abuse. And that's where it stems from. Because you'll wind up being with somebody that is very similar to the person that abused you. And you know why? Because nobody ever did shit about it. You know, when I was in all those fucking group homes, it was wild to me that my evil mother, all the shit she did to us, never got arrested, never had a child abuse. She had a bunch of cases down there, but nobody ever did anything about it, you know, because she runs the whole, I'm married, I have a fly husband, I have 8 kids, and I'm a nurse. She's a liar. She's never been a nurse. She tells everybody that dumb shit. And that's what they use, the label of being a doctor and a lawyer as a power. It's almost like saying I'm a FBI agent. You know, you have power over people. And, like, that's why most people even become those professions. But what they're doing now when it comes to psych drugs and the psychologists ain't listening to you. They're not. That's why my son is on my ceiling. He's dead. Okay? Why you got to overdose 5 times? You know what they do? Put you in a fucking mental institution for 5. It's supposed to be 3 days, but they make it a week. Why not? Ain't nobody watching them, right? You know how much that stay is? That's about a $300,000 stay. And then they force the drugs down you and send you on your way. If they cared about mental illness, don't you think they'd be picking people up that you can clearly see are having mental breakdowns? They're not. It's a big scam. That guy Mayoni, the one that shot the insurance guy, he set off a chain reaction of people starting to wake the fuck up. And that's what's going to happen. People are going to start realizing, oh shit, my mother was going to the doctor and he just kept drugging her up and she died. Or do you see where the doctor actually delivered a baby, snapped the baby's neck off because she pulled too hard? And instead of admitting her wrong, what did she do? Glue the head back on and hand it to the mother and say, oh, she died of childbirth. Those doctors are psychopaths. That's a psychopath. Okay? So you have to be responsible for your fucking health. But it really does start at home. If you are living with somebody, please do my 5 lies. It'll be so fucking easy. Remember, I told you, if you guys have narcs around, even if they don't live with you, narcs are targeting you to do ugly spells on you, to make sure your teeth fall out, make sure your skin is busted, make sure your hair falls out, and you won't even know. You're like, why is my hair falling out? Because it's an ugly spell. You would be shocked the person with the Bible has a fucking voodoo doll with your name on it, doing shit to your leg, doing shit to your back. Now, they don't have any power over you, right? But they do if you don't pray it away. If you don't pray it away and they shield yourself with the armor of God, God's not going to let people fuck with us like that. But they prey on the weak. They prey on people that have lost faith. Because it's just so easy. It's so easy. It's too easy. Why not prey on somebody that I can get? Don't take it personal. Make sure you have God, you have Jesus, you have the Holy Spirit, you have all the archangels. If you ever had an abortion, that baby's spirit is, if man or woman, that spirit is with you for life to help you, to guide you. You have your ancestors and you never met that are from hundreds and thousands of years ago. You also have your immediate family that you need to start talking to and say, it's really weird because I had to do all of this stuff, man. I didn't even know I had my real family that's on my ceiling until 21. Because they had pictures of his family, other people. They were like, it was the movie Overboard. You know what happened to Goldie Hawn? That's the exact thing that happened to me, except mine was much worse. Much, much worse. Much more deadly. But everything happens to me. So I can tell you how to make moves. But like I said, if you have a narc in your house, don't eat or drink or use any products. And you're like having stuff in your bathroom and don't use any of it. And then just make believe you have brain cancer and the doctor said you have about a year to live. The thing is, if you know somebody ain't gonna do shit when you're sick, why not lie to them? Why not lie to them about it? You're gonna start laughing. Why? You're gonna be like, it's not true. And then when you leave the house to go to your cancer chemo, go to the fucking gym. Go to the park and do some crunches. Just go out in the sun. And when you're on your downtime, make sure you're using the Elevate game. Make sure you're using the Fabulous app where you says, make up my bed, clean out my house. And anything they gave you, you got to get rid of it. Because you guys would be shocked what I'm finding out. It's so intense what I'm finding out. What I found out is just regular people that work regular jobs and they don't do shit. They are down with watching you suffer and then actually creating websites where people bid on watching you throw up blood. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Back in the days, it was called the snuff video. But now it's called the dark web. okay? And there's a lot of money to be made on that, where people just sit behind a computer, have a camera on you, watching you suffer, watching you look for stuff. Remember, like they'll say, I don't, take your keys, and they're the one, you're like, where's my keys at? Where's this at? Take your property, destroy it, act like somebody else did it. Any distraction so they don't have to get the fuck out. Like I said, a narc is planning shit when you're sleeping. So when you get up, when you step down off your bed, there's a landmine right there, boom, blowing up. And now it's not about them getting out. It's about putting that fire out. So you have to be very strategic to get your life back and get your shit together. You have to remain very calm because this is going around so big. Everybody, you see the guy that just was going to throw his wife in Hawaii off of a moon? That's what they were going to do. You know why? I told you, I know why COVID came? Because of me. Because I'm a highly ranked, high-profile Earth Angel. Probably the only one, right? It's funny, today I felt like the Wiz with Rumi and the bike and the basket in the front. I felt like the modern fly version of Dorothy and shit, which is one of my movies starting with Bex Biz, because people like staying in my fucking business. And it's funny because me and Diana Ross are born in the same day. Isn't that something? I just want to tell y'all, watch your drink. Let me tell you, when somebody poisons you, it's so subtle that you, especially if you already have high blood pressure, I don't have none of that, I'd never have. But if you are given something that doesn't belong in your body, and then you turn around because the reaction is to lay around all day, and you say, let me order food, right? So now there you go poisoning yourself. Our first instinct is to always hurt ourselves first. Before anyone hurts us, we hurt ourselves first. That stems from not receiving the proper love you got as supposed to get as a child. And I don't know who got. Like I said, I'm lucky. At least I have an amazing dad. Yeah, fucked up mother, but an amazing dad. I told you, I'm working on my emotions, right? I have to literally go through every emotion that I feel so I can get it in check. So if you guys are angry at somebody, that's not really that you're angry at them. You're angry at yourself for something that's not healed. You can't look at people and give them that much fucking power. If somebody does something to you, document it. So remember, that shit is for the pain. The pain is for the lesson. So you can learn some discipline. You can learn how to grow, right? And then it's also evidence so you can sue the shit out of them. I don't give a fuck who it is. Okay? You can use AI to sue somebody and then just send that shit electronically. But like I said, you can't do any of that unless your emotions are to the point where if I come up to you and I say, I don't like your fucking nose, you dumb bitch. You know what you do? You be strategic and sit down and think. Remember, you're in a movie. I told you, I'll go take some acting classes. Just think like in a movie and say, I didn't tell anybody you have AIDS. They yelling out wild shit. You yell out wild shit too without getting angry. You really want to always make sure you are in control of your emotions by smiling, by laughing, by staying cheery, by staying positive. Because that's how you manifest an amazing life. If you start complaining and shit, you're not practicing gratitude. If you're rushing, I gotta hurry up. That's something I've deprogrammed myself to. Every now and then I say, oh, I gotta hurry up. And I'm like, nope, mindfulness, right? I don't have to hurry up and do shit. That's being early, child abuse, right? And then having a baby very early in life and having all these responsibilities thrown on me at 15 years old. So now all parents are like that. All parents say, I gotta hurry up and go to the bathroom. I gotta hurry up and go to the store. Stop saying that shit. The reality is, what if you don't hurry? What's gonna happen? You're gonna get arrested? It's not gonna happen? It's gonna happen. It's just that you're programmed. You gotta think, why did I have so many strokes? I know I had the first one. I was under a lot of pressure. My business had just it was almost sold. I never signed it when it happened, right? And then I have a bitch kid that always wants me dead. She's always doing shit, man, to me. And then I have people that she brings in and they do the same shit. So I'm really blessed and grateful that they did this to me, because not only are they all dead, but the main characters are still alive, and now I got to see them all in court. And then I was able to do all of this because of all the shit they were doing to me. I was able to see where the fuck I was at. This is what I saw when I was dead. When I died, right over there, I didn't do the duct tape yet. I'm putting not duct tape, crime scene tape where I died at on the floor, and then I have to. You'll see, it's going to be really fabulous. And then I have to add their pictures to the ceiling. That's me, the phoenix, right there coming back. But this is what I saw. All of this when I was dead. And it was so fucking beautiful. I told somebody today, I was talking about, he told me his dad died, right? And I was like, he was a piece of shit. I said, well, just because your dad was a piece of shit, right, doesn't mean he went to hell. He can go straight to heaven. When I was dead, I was shocked at how many like serial killers I saw, you know? And if you got beef with somebody right now, I asked somebody this the other day. I said, if you have beef with somebody and I gave you a gun and I'll let you get away with killing them, would you do it? She said, hell yeah. I said, okay, if you shot them, what if when they die, right? Well, they're going to die if you shoot them, right? You're shooting to kill, right? What if they went straight to heaven? You know, if they went to heaven, they have access to you, right? They have access to spooking you out. Because not only did you break God's law, you broke one of the 10 commandments, right? That's a commandment from God. No killing. I don't care if they rape your child. No killing. But guess what? God didn't say anything about paralyzing them, knocking out. That's an extreme case if somebody rape your child. You cut their dick off. Why not? Just make sure you have some needle and thread to sew it up. You're not killing them. They're not dying. But if somebody's calling you a name, fuck you, even stealing from you, anything other than messing with a child, you have no right to take their fucking life. Because they can very well come back and spook you out. And they're not coming by themselves. They have a whole big family. Remember that. They have a big family. You know, when you die, it's about things being made right. Okay? So it's about karma. And when you die, guess what? There are no material things in heaven. So there's no car, no TV, no jobs. It's not even a body, right? So you don't have to worry about going to the gym and fitness. It literally is just about love. It's just about making things easy for people, getting people out of trouble. These are people that you have a connection to, a blood tie. That's what your job in heaven is. And this is why so many people are in heaven. Their family members need them here. Not to mention, a lot of people don't realize that when you have a karmic debt that has to be paid. Look, my family's the perfect example. I tell you how I grew up. My whole family was so ill. First, we got beat up with the Jehovah's Witness with the fucking Bible that was really a gun. As soon as my dad went to work, yo, start lying. My mother was a mad woman. Look, she was really fly, though. That was the nice thing. I'm like, I was so blessed. At least I had a fly narc. And intelligent and like really savvy and interior designer. She was so amazing, but she had a demon attached to her that just made her hate, like children. And like anybody, she's like a grim reaper. Like she's the type that, and everybody, my whole neighborhood knows. It's funny now that she's dead, they're finally talking. Like, I knew she killed your dad. I knew it. I knew nothing was. My father's perfectly healthy man. Never had a surgery. Never took a pill. And my brother dies. We bring $5 million down. I'll tell that story in a minute. But long story short, she's the one that called her. I want the house cleaned out. I want that safe opened up. I want all the money. Me and my dad go there, and like the last 2 weeks we spent every single day together, and I was holding his body when she did it, and she made the EMS after he threw up. You can only throw up if you're alive. She made them stop working on his body. I don't want a vegetable as a husband, and threw all his shit out the next day. I didn't even get anything. I have my figurines for my piano, but look, there's a lot of injustice that happens in the world, but that's so the devil can break you and make you join his crew. He wants you to be so broken that you say, fuck it, they can't be a God. No, that's what happened to my siblings. They didn't believe in God. They was like, we went to the Kingdom Hall 3 times a week, right? All that preaching. And the reality is, not even when they were like 8 or 7 years old, they started killing people in my neighborhood. As a group, all 4 of them. Like on a daily basis, they were shooting people in the head. Pow! In front of everybody. And it's funny because like what just happened to me, I said, well, the cops didn't do anything, right? They like was pushing this shit on the road. They're like his friend. If you know what I mean, right? You'll know what I mean. But then I said, see, this is where I was talking about karma, right? This is my blood family. No, I'm not like that at all. I'm the total opposite. Just because I'm born into a deadly family, the reality is I left home at fucking 9 years old. I was left in the hospital for 2 years. By the time I got out, they were all in jail. And then at 14, I left home and never looked back. All right? And I always hated it. That's like right now, somebody from Pakistan, right? I mean, from Israel. If you met somebody from Israel, right, you probably have beef with them because you see what's going on in Pakistan. And you say, I got beef. But how do you know they're down with that? Just because you're related to something doesn't mean you're down with it. That's why it's important to mind your business. Like, if you see something that's unjust and you can do something about it, the only way you can do about it is to clear up your own shit first. And then you can, like, create a program that helps people from trauma. You can create some. We are here to give back. So this is why your ancestors are able to make it to the other side, even if they was a piece of shit. Do you really think that the kids that grow up in places where there's a lot of violence and they die very early in life, that they're going to hell? Because I tell you, you know what I saw, which really, it stuck in my head. I saw this kid, I don't even know his name, but I knew he had shot up a school. He was a little serial killer kid, and I was like, what the hell are you doing here? I said, oh shit, what are you doing here? Because remember that we have a very merciful, loving God. God is very loving and he's very fair. And God has, hey, Port, God has no emotions. That's another thing about heaven. There's no emotions in heaven. You know how like we have all these feelings and shit? In heaven, it's not like that. It's about fairness. It's about, like biology, science, math. 1 and 1 is 2. Not like, she said this to me and I'm going to kick her ass or whatever. Like maybe any crime against humanity needs to be judged by God. All right? How you doing, dude? You chilling? You got some more artwork? You got some more artwork coming out? Are you that's how you transmute shit. That's my dude he's from Iraq. With a nice dog and a nice car. He's like, Rebecca, get me out of here. I'm like, you don't want to come here? No. You know what's funny? I met this couple today from, she was from Paris. This chick was from Paris, right? And she was so fucking drunk. She's in the park during the day. Hammered. And of course, at first I thought I knew her, but then I'm like, I don't know this bitch. Please don't come up to me. She latched right onto me. As soon as she goes, my sister, Rebecca, I love you. She was yelling, I love you 1 billion times. I mean, but I can't really be around people like that. Although the shaman in me can tell her, I say, yo, you don't need to be drinking vodka out of a water bottle, man. And then you're drinking like this around 15 men. They're going to rape your ass. And ain't nobody going to do shit about it. You need to when you tell people to get off substances, always tell them to replace it with something healthy and give them an answer for that. So like I told her, just go to, why don't you go, first of all, you don't need to be in this park because it's just going to make you want to drink all the time if that's what you've been doing. But she told me that when she was in Paris, she never had a drink in her life. And as soon as she landed in America, she started drinking and became an American drunk. She became an American drunk. I'm really looking forward to doing my Pictionary show because, I don't want to show y'all any of the pictures yet because y'all won't believe this shit. You won't believe it. The story behind. Oh, boy, you saw the pictures. He saw the pictures. He was like, what the fuck? He saw the light ones and shit, but I'm producing this the right way. I'm not trying to go viral. I'm still taking care of too much stuff to, plus it's nice to just relax. I've never had this kind of life before. Y'all know that, right? I've never had, I'm so glad everybody's dead because they're always calling me, Becky, you got this, you got that, gimme. I'm like the go-to sucker empath. And in my mind, I'm like, I ain't around these motherfuckers. They could never possibly bring harm to me. That's what gave me my stroke. Then I had another one. And then the doctors drugged me up and that brought on 7 more strokes. Thank you, Jesus. It hit the same area. You know what's funny? Because it hit the back of my brain. And when the first stroke hit, look, this much. I got to do it like this. It was like this much of my lower brain that controls my vision and memory is a white spot. It's supposed to be black. It's completely white, like this. And I remember the neurologist looked at me and said, why the fuck is she even alive? I never had a blood clot, but they give everybody blood thinners. And when I started taking the blood thinners and they were drugging me up, I had blood clots everywhere. So you see what I mean? You go to a doctor, they don't give a fuck. They're just there to swipe your card and say, I did see the patient, and they're not lying. They looked at you and wrote the prescription, and you walked out. So basically what you're doing is making the pharmacy rich. You're not even making the doctor rich. They get a percentage for that prescription. Very small percentage. That's why they got 70 patients, 80, 90, 100 patients in the room. All right? But what you're making rich is the pharmaceutical companies because that's what costs the most. One prescription costs $5,000. That's a car. And then most likely you won't even take it. You'll just have it sitting in your house saying that's not a big deal. I don't have to take it, but it doesn't matter. We don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck if you take it. You already swiped it. Now the pharmacist got paid. The pharmaceutical company got paid. Your doctor got paid. And now you took your life and they're rejecting life out of you. Okay? So get on the path of healing. If you have a disease, whatever it is, go online and it's very accessible information and look up whatever you have. Even if it's asthma, I don't give a fuck what it is. But I can tell you what any disease you have because I've had all of them. I'm not kidding. I had the chickenpox 3 times. Look, I'm going to give you a little rundown of all the stuff I had. You'll know who the fuck I am. 5 years old, I was playing 3-legged race because I went from kindergarten right to 1st grade because I got skipped because I'm a genius, right? Look, my lip busted. The stitches are still there. Look. Murder Maggie wasn't going to take me to the hospital. My dad did. And what did they do? Shoot me in the ass. Pain medicine at 5 years old. And stitch up my lip. Then, and then a car ran over my leg at 7. My brother was right there. And so why? He was going in like slow motion and ran over my toes. This was like, I'm born in 1975, right? It was one of them old, big, giant, they made very big cars back in the day. He ran right over my toes and nothing happened. Except my sneakers, I remember they went down. Like, you could see the pressure go down. I swear to God, I didn't feel anything. Oh, me and my brothers, our first day of school, somebody threw a big boulder. Oh, y'all want to see? It's the exact same. Everything in my life repeated, right? No, what's wild? I found this boulder 9/11. You know, I always got to have some deaf shit around me. But look, I got this from 9/11. Look. You want to see it? Look. I have the chain. Oh, God, it's really heavy. Oh, look. Can you see it? Minus the necklace. This is from 9/11. I actually have the videotape because I was riding my bicycle, like, with my legs up. I worked on 120th in Claremont for New York organ donor. My second to my last corporate job, right? When 9/11 hit. And as soon as I drove by because I was running late. I'm supposed to be to work at 9 o'clock. As soon as I got to my office building, I look out my boss's office, you know, you can see the buildings, and it was like cloudy, and Murder Maggie in the front. That's right, the hell. She loves death. Yo, my mother is so fucking funny. I'm doing a whole show on her. Because she's the fucking type that all of a sudden, she goes, hi, darling. Oh, let me take you shopping. And she'll clean out your whole fucking bank account. Taking you shopping to every store up and down Fifth Avenue. And then all of a sudden, you're dead. And she's the one cleaning out your house and giving all your shit out to everybody in my neighborhood. She's been doing that since I was a fucking kid. And that's, she's and then she plans your funeral too. She plans your funeral, and you know what she'll do? If you have a family, maybe she's gonna rearrange your whole body. Oh, darling, I have to call my florist up and put a giant wedding flower bouquet in your hand, and it'll be all in your face with baby breath. She's the funniest person I fucking know. She's Donald Trump. My mother is Donald Trump. That's who my mother is, Donald fucking Trump. She's like real strict but crazy and shit, but then fly and then like smart. And then some of the things she says make sense, but it's all evil. All of it is evil. She fucking put this. Her fucking cousin died of like a alcoholic. You know, she was an alcoholic. What is that called? The cirrhosis of the liver. So you know your skin is very gray. What does Murder Maggie do? No, darling, we gotta fix her up. That's why she look crazy, honey. No, she calls the florist at the honey. Send me a big one. No, make it bigger. And out of her pocketbook, she pulls out some Michael Jackson fucking sparkly glitter gloves and puts them on the dead body, rearranges her head, put the flowers in her face. Yo, my sister was looking like, I just couldn't stop laughing. I cannot fuck with Murder Maggie. She's a crazy bitch. She like killing. She likes to kill. But anyway, I burnt myself on my lights. Say hi to Ruby. Say Ruby was a good girl. You're such a good girl, Ruby. We got a modeling job for some sneakers. We don't know what it is yet. She said she couldn't tell us. Well, we got a paid modeling job. You know, guys, look, when you guys want to enter an industry, work for free. A lot of things in your life, if y'all want to make some real moves, will not be for money. It'll be for you being in the right place. While you're there, you're sucking in invaluable information that you cannot get from a fucking stupid ass dumb job where they tell you, take this and put it here, put that. The best jobs you'll have will be you being an apprentice where you're in the environment and you're sucking all the information in. The fact is, if you want to change your life around and you start dropping everybody and everything, is so easy. Oh my God, it's so much fun. It's so easy. It's too easy. I mean, I kind of have lived my whole life like this. I was so blessed to have eczema. And nobody would touch me. And 4 big scary brothers and a dad. So nobody would talk to me. Nobody would touch me. I had any friends. And I swear to God, I loved it. I couldn't even go down south when I was a kid. Murder Maggie would take my brothers down south. We got, we was in trees. And we were in moss. And I'm like, I don't want to be there. I was at Elaine Powers at the gym. And I was at the park smoking weed, having fun, having my music, my Walkman, having a ball, walking through Manhattan, just going to every store I want to and just hang. Well, I couldn't go outside because my eczema was so bad I couldn't go in the sun. So I used to have to do indoor things. So my father begged, Becky, here's your $20. I'll take my $20, get on my bike and go ride and get my pizza and icy and just explore the whole city, anything indoors. And that's why I told you I've been hit by lightning because I spent my whole life, the beginning of my life, not going in the sun at all. I couldn't go. I started bleeding. Blood started seeping out of my body. It still happens now. Like, I've been to, a lot of high climate places, but I know how to take care of it now. Plus, I have my thrill, so I can do it. And plus, I make my own sunblock, my own sunscreen now, so I can do it. Sunscreen is just zinc, right? You gotta start looking stuff up. Like I said, when you start healing, you need to examine everything. Look, I'm on my 4th year now, right, of being free from the matrix. Well, escaping the matrix. You have to escape it first. And then, but it's wild because I make my own mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is just a fucking egg in oil. Everything y'all buy, everything y'all consume, you already have it in your house. You already have it in your house. But that's how intense the programming is. You have to see that Hellman's label. Tide detergent. You have to see it. You feel like a good parent, a good mother. That's all parent programming. Yes. But Ruby, give Baby a kiss. Here's my baby. Say hi to Ruby. You did a good job today, Ruby. You did lots of modeling. You see her hand on me right there. She's like, you know what she's doing? Because I didn't cook. I made food yesterday, and I knew I was going to heat it up today, but it really wasn't that much. But Ruby needs to lose some weight anyway, so she's letting me know I didn't feed her gourmet meal. You see this, right? And she's pushing. You see her? Right? She's pushing her hand into me, and it's not like Rumi is skinny or missing a meal. It's just she gets a specific gourmet meal in her bowl. Look, I have my bowl here from yesterday. And she doesn't want any more. Rumi, you had enough. You want a carrot? I think that carrot is hard. Some bone marrow carrots. Really delicious. So, I know I'm all over the place. But soon you'll be able to get the ebooks I have coming out. But like I said, you got beef in your house? Don't eat or drink anything from your fucking evil narcissist. Because I can guarantee you they're poisoning you. If you feel like you can't breathe, you'll feel like your chest is a little tight. Like, I don't even have asthma. What's going on? You'll go to the doctor and they'll find something wrong with you. They'll find something and they'll give you a prescription. And your narc will be like this snickering, giving you that crazy look. And you won't know what the fuck is going on. Because one of the things it does when you're poisoned with any poison you take is it fucks up your cognitive functions, meaning you can't understand what's going on. And that's a product of the poison. What do you want, more water, girl? Here you go. She has to have her water. Her blueberry water. Oh, always make ice cubes, guys, with blueberries and fruits in it and lemon and herbs in it. Never have a plain, this way you can always heal. You always have something inside of you healing, constant healing. My new thing is soursop, too. That kills cancer. And, you know what's really good? I forgot to put it in I have it in this other drink. Methane blue. That helps the cell repair really quick. Methane blue. Watch how much younger y'all see me get. By the time I'm 60, watch. You're going to see all this built up. I got to I can't even make the... I can't do it. This is the shoulder that was completely torn. It was torn so bad they wanted to shave the bone down. No! No more surgeries. Right. I was giving y'all the lift of my surgeries, right? So here... Right? That rock that y'all see, it was 3 times that size that on the first day of school, me and my brothers were going to school and somebody threw it off the roof and it landed right at my toes. It went right by my face, look, like that, and landed at my toes. I was 5. And at the same year, the lip, right? And then 6. I can't remember what happened at 6, but I'm sure it was something. 7, me and Murder Maggie got into a car accident on our way to Springfield, Massachusetts. And I said to her, look, she's old too. I got some old ass family members. But she goes, Becky, we were listening to this show called The White Shadow. Because she was around before motherfucking TVs were made, right? And it was this show that you listened to on the radio that was real spooky and scary. And Massachusetts, you guys know, it was pitch black. So as we were driving, I say to her, Mom, what would you do if we had an accident? Not even 30 seconds later, we heard something go pop, pow, and the car went like this and crashed into the side railing. And the whole tire was spaghetti. The tire blew up. Because fucking David, Murder Maggie's too lazy to get her car off the lot. She told David, my brother David, to go get it parked and, bring the car around so I could get it. And David went on a joyride and fucked the tire up. And when we went, it blew up. And you know what she said? Becky, that's your fault. Every time you say something that happens, your fault. And this nice white family picked us up and took us to their house. It was so nice. They had a big, giant mansion. And they took us and let us spend the night. And her friend that we were going to visit came and picked us up from there. But that was when I was 7, right? And then 8. I can't remember anything on 8, but I'm sure it was a lot. But then at 9, I scratched my hand. Look, right here. I remember I went to sleep. I scratched my hand. Look, I'm perfectly fine like now. Perfect body, not one scratch on it. Except for Murder Maggie's beating scratches, right? But I scratched my fucking hand right here. Look, right here. And when I woke up, I had eczema from it was everywhere. It was between my toes, all over my leg, everywhere. I was like, what the fuck happened? Now, my father had, but I never saw it because by the time I was born, it was gone. But my brothers had it like a little bit around their neck, arm and stuff. I couldn't fucking believe it. And, of course, Murder Maggie tells my dad, you got to buy me a car, Haywood, because I have to take Becky to the hospital. And that's just what she did. She took me to Bellevue Hospital, dropped me off, and walked away and left me there. And they were trying to do all these fucking experiments on me. That's what just happened. Like I said, when I met Homeboy, the exact same time, everything happened that had just happened when I was a child. And it was so bad. Let me tell you, they had me in gauze, like, of course, steroid creams. And there we go with drugs. They had me with Atarax, which is a sleeping pill. They say it doesn't make you itch, but basically it just makes you go to sleep. Because there is no pill to make you not itch. I actually have the formula Thrill Spa that makes you not scratch. You put my product on, it goes right away in 2.5 seconds, right? They actually brought me in a room. Because remember, I didn't have any visitors. She didn't let me have any visitors. None of my siblings came. My father couldn't come. My mother's the type to say, you're having sex with her, Haywood. He's like, fuck, let me just stay at home with this crazy bitch and go to work because she is just off the chain. So they just left me there. They had me in isolation in a room. See, I understood why they had me in isolation when I was a kid. But why the fuck throughout my life they have done that? All the group homes I was in a room by myself. If I go to the hospital right now with like just a little scratch, your sort of video, right? By myself. Do you know when I came back from Turkey, they put me on a plane by myself. There were only 2 guys. Well, now I know what they are. Y'all know already, right? 2 men with like baseball caps in the back, and the whole entire plane was empty. 8-hour flight from UK to JFK. Y'all get it now, right? Exactly. I'm just finding all this stuff out too. Look, when I was in a group home, they had they had just opened up this house. They gave me the whole entire bottom floor because they say, well, you're the oldest, you finished school, you have like the oldest kid, and like you're going to leave soon too because you have a job. Well, I didn't have a job yet. I wasn't even 18. I was 16 when I moved there. But I got a corporate job at 18, and I was in a group home. Plus, I made them do my veneers. 6 veneers. I must have been the first black chick to have veneers in 1985. No, 84. Jazzy was 1. Yeah, 40 years ago. I said it's my 4th set of teeth. So y'all can alchemize anything. But let's get back to the injuries, right? This is pretty astounding. I'm putting all this together in books and movies, and it's going to be intense. When I'm 9, I'm in the hospital. When I'm 10, all of a sudden, I get shingles now. You know what shingles is. On top of the eczema, I just remember laying there like this, look. Remember, I'm just getting these memories back. All this stuff. When you've been traumatized in your life, you literally don't remember anything. That's called a brain injury. Do you really remember what happened at 1, 2, 3, 4? Guess what? You're supposed to. Your brain has been fogged down with the Matrix. The Matrix boggles you down. So I just remember laying there. I remember I'm like a mummy. Oh, and then they put plastic over my bed with a vent like that. I don't know if you ever seen the boy in the plastic bubble. I was like that. I had the gauze like a burn victim. And then the nurses didn't want to touch me. They didn't want to help me, like, change my gauze. My gauze had to be changed 3 times a day because I would scratch it all off. It would be blood everywhere and pus and scabs. And then I would fall asleep and have to rip my arm off of the sheets because it would literally heal into the sheets. Once they gave me the narcotic, which was Atarax, would make me fall asleep. And that was good because I would just scratch. But I remember being, like, so out of it and, like this. I was just, like... That was, like, to me, the saddest time of my life when I had eczema and I was by myself, which was good because my mother's a narc, right? So she would tell my brothers to do bad things to me. Break my toys up, tear my dolls up, say this, itch. And I would just start scratching. But like I said, I have a savior, my dad. Thank you, G. I'm so lucky because some people have 2 narc parents or they don't even know their parents. And they, so look, you have to have gratitude. Once you learn to obtain gratitude, God's going to throw so much stuff at you. He's not going to keep blessing you when you don't even see the blessings you have. That's called hoarding. That's called hoarding blessings. He doesn't get down like that. Satan does, but God does not. He'll clean everything out. Look at how fast God let me get myself together. It's only been 4 years. But let me stay focused on the injuries, right? So from 9 to 11, I have eczema all over my body. So bad that, look at how bad it is in my skin. Look, you'll see the white spots? Look. You see my elbows? White. I lost all the pigment. I lost all the pigment in my... This one I think is worse. Look. You can't really see it anymore. Wow. You'll see it white, right? See the big white spots? That's from... It used to be really bad. Like, as a teenager, I took over my skin when I went to the... At 11, from 11 to 12... I was just, Murder Maggie was dragging me everywhere. Oh, God, because my brothers were all in jail. That's right. I spent my whole child going to visit my brothers in Elmira, Rikers Island, C-74, C-76. My sister, too, Brooklyn House. I know every fucking jail, which so much that my first boyfriend was in jail. I picked up the phone. Hey, it was Mike Sirianni. I got the pictures of this shit. But anyway, so by the time I'm 9, 11... 14, I go to Mount Sinai and I ask the dermatologist, what the fuck is eczema? Why am I like this? I had gotten control of it at 11 though. I started using Kerry lotion, because that was what they prescribed me. Kerry lotion, alpha Kerry oil, right? Of course, steroid creams. But Murder Maggie would say, you're going to get cancer from that. Why? I don't give a fuck. I'll take the cancer. I can't live without the only thing with steroid creams, it really thins out your skin. Like you can bump into something and break your skin open because it's speeding up the recovery. It's just a worse, it's actually a good thing, but a bad. So I used to just mix it and make a blend. So it wasn't be so harsh, and it really did work. My skin started clearing up, but then I still had the pigment problem. Pigment issue. It wasn't a problem. It was a fucking, a situation that was there because people would say, oh my God, you got burned. I'm like, yep, I got burned. I'm not explaining this shit to you. I was in a fire. I got burned. I ain't telling you that shit. And then by the time I was 14, y'all know about the essays and shit, I got pregnant. And that was the biggest blessing. I told you, every bad thing that happened to me was a level up. Because think about it. When you get pregnant, there's a tie to the father where you think you're in a relationship and you're a teenager. The fact remains, if you're a teenager and you're having a baby, the dude is probably old, which means you got assaulted all day long. Okay? How many teenagers have kids together? Not many. Okay? And nobody does shit about that anyway. Right? Nobody. How many people have kids and the guy is older than 17, or rather older than 18, and the kid is 15, pregnant at 14. Yo, there was a girl in the group home that was pregnant by her dad. She was 10. Her name was Doris. She had big, giant titties. I didn't know how the fuck she was that developed, but she had like size triple E breast and a big ass. She was Spanish, big ass, pregnant by her fucking dad, right? And the mother said, the mother protected him. That's what I'm shutting down. The fact that the whole picture and everything goes to, let's tell the real story of these bitches that harbor criminals. Do you realize if it wasn't for women protecting criminals, like their kids, it don't matter who it is, saying, nah, it didn't happen like that, nah. They know about your abuse, but they act like it ain't no big fucking deal. That's why people use drugs. That's why people get drunk. That's why people devalue and start hurting themselves by fucking a billion niggas, indulging in all the deadly sins, anger, greed, lust. Because you know what your mother did, man. She didn't protect you. Or your father. Anybody that was in that house that did not protect you is guilty of the same exact sin. Because if you rob a bank with me and you in the car outside, you're guilty. Period. And they're all going up for judgment right now. Okay? Period. If you're around them, you're going to get it too. Don't try to fucking save them. That's not your job. All right? You ever see my baby altar? I'm going to show you my baby altar. These are the babies that are helping me out. Not only did they help me get out of this shit, but they helping me take care of what I got to take care of because they're the ones that got me out of it. Y'all know the story. I ain't telling it. But now I have an altar for them. The golden baby. You see? Brings me. Isn't that beautiful? See? This is my baby altar. My golden baby. And every time they kill a child, they come here and help me out. Yeah. Yes. Because they have the keys. They have the key I need to saving children that are actually alive. See, this is me, the warrior. This is me. Look at that. And this, boy, did you ever see this? I got this this is the Arabic warrior. Well, I got this from Turkey. He's a warrior for protection. Isn't that beautiful? And do you know inside the inscription? Wait, not this one. This one doesn't have the inscription. I have one in the front. And this one, oh shit. That's another piece. That's another Arabic peace sign. I love the Muslim religion. I don't fuck with religion. Y'all know that, right? But I like culture because it's a culture thing, right? I like the culture because they eat really healthy. And I don't care what y'all think about them, what the world made you think about Muslims, right? They're very calm. And if you go to their countries, they treat you very nice and respectful. They're real peaceful. They like to dance and shit. They like to just relax and chill. I'm not talking about the radical ones, just straight Muslims. And let's go through back to my injuries, right? So this is a really good story. And then I'm getting off. I'm going to tell you just a little bit of the Bex Biz books coming out. So when I am at the group home, right? No, my corporate job, I had my first corporate job. They hired me on my birthday at 18 at Blue Cross and Blue Shield on 41st and 3rd Avenue. I live in Staten Island in the group home, but I got a babysitter. I could do what the fuck I want. And I'm going to the privatized garage. That's the garage over there. It was a club. That was the most amazing club because I got a babysitter. I'm going every single week. And because I work in the mailroom, right, I could leave at 4 in the morning because that's my hours. I have to be there at 7 and I got to leave at, that's the time you go to the privatized garage at 4 a.m. until 12 the next day. And it's funny because right now I tell y'all, people look at me like, I'm so sorry your family's dead. I'm so sorry. And I'm looking at them, what the fuck I want my family alive for? Unless you have an amazingly healthy family, if you are the empath, you are the designated slave. The fact is, if they die, they can help you out. They can't help you if they're in their house and they're not elevated. They just call you and tell you, oh, child, you know who died today? Oh, my leg is hurt. Do you know how demotivating that is to somebody that wants to elevate? And because you are a loyal family member, you do things for them and you don't even do things for yourself. That's a fucking vicious cycle, man. So don't feel sorry for me. Remember, I got to see them. That was the most amazing thing, getting killed. I got to go to heaven. I got to see my father, and we was chilling. You know what's wild? Right before he died, 16 days. You know that, right? 16 days we hung out. You know how long I was dead in a coma? 16 days. You know how long Scooter was in a coma before I met him? 16 days. The one he put me in. You know about the eye and the ankle? Some wild shit. My story is, trust me, I'm just as astounded as you guys are. But at 18, I get my corporate job in the mail department and I'm there like 4 months. I'm having a ball too, man. Because I like guys. I'm hanging out with all the guys. Like, men love hanging out with me because I'm like this. Like, I'm a girl, but they're not going to try to fuck me because I'm just like too fly, but I'm fun, right? And I'm hanging out with all these dudes and shit, and we having so much fun. And I'm pulling a cart backwards, you know, like a cart of mail on this big gray metal cart. And I'm just pulling it backwards like I always do. And all of a sudden, I feel my fucking foot cut. Like you know how you pull something back? My foot, as I'm walking, my tendon got cut. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding. Of course, I have to go to the hospital, and the doctor says this much was left of it. Look, he said I can't even measure it like by a centimeter. If that would have been split, you would have lost your leg completely. We don't know how the hell that happened, but that's incredible. So we're going to operate, have surgery. Remember, I have a 2-year I have to take care of in a group home. By myself, no family, no friends. I'm used to that. I'm actually good with that because I have fun in the hospital. And if you're anywhere near my room, which you probably will be, I'm going to do your hair over. We're going to smoke weed. We're going to outside, my music. It's a fucking party. And my clients come. I actually make more money while I'm in the hospital because I'm such an expert at being in the hospital that my clients say, I bet you got your product. My thing is, I tell my family, just bring me my product. I have it here now. I can sell. Doctors want it. Everybody wants it. Right? So the day the cast comes off, I had it for 2 months. The day the cast comes off, this girl, Robin, she was there before me. This Jewish girl named Robin, right? I actually have the pictures. Oh, right. We were in a car accident in the group home. I forgot about that accident because I have the pictures. We were on the BQE. It was raining really hard in a van. The social worker, her name was Teresa. She used to take us like to the movies, to a house. And it was raining really hard. And the car fucking sped out. I don't even know how it happened because I don't remember anybody hitting us. But the car she lost control of the car because I was like, pump the brakes. Right. The car sped out and she lost control of it and it started spinning and it almost went over the BQE. Like it hit the railing and went over. And there was a girl, she couldn't get out her seatbelt. Of course, Rebecca had to rescue her and I did. I got her out and as soon as I moved to a car, hit that car. And then I have the pictures all sitting in the waiting room, in the emergency room. Right, and that's when my the social worker, her name was Teresa, she said, Rebecca, you know you're very special, right? I never knew what she was talking about. People been saying this to me my whole life. Well, I don't know. She goes, no, you don't get it. Like, that shouldn't have happened like that. Plus, when I was there, I used to go to work every day, and the girls would wait all day for me to come home from work and say, Rebecca, what happened today? What happened today? That's my life was that exciting. So the day my cast comes off, I have a cane, but I said, I'm going to leave my cane home. She goes, Rebecca, can you come with me to get some weed? It's in the projects, right? This is in Staten Island. If you guys are familiar with Staten Island, there's Stapleton projects, and then there's Park Hill project where Method Man and them are from, the Wu-Tang Clan. A really grimy project. Like, guess what? I tell you, twice everything happens to me. That's where I went to a foster home and gave birth at. Yeah, the bitch didn't buy me anything. Okay, nothing. And I had to go home when she was a week old. Not even a week. Not even. She was like, I had her on a Sunday, and I was on the boat. I came home on a Wednesday, and I was on the boat to come back to Manhattan on Thursday. Okay, and I had to go home until I could find a new group home to be in. But, I told you what happened when I got, I'm sorry I'm skipping over. Now y'all see why I need a book. But you know what happened when I got home? I hadn't been here for 2 years. Remember, I had no friends. I had one friend, Gigi, just one. But then she was like, she was my only best friend. But, you know, that was kind of limited because people would be my friend because of my brothers because they get protection and shit. Right? And I'm here for nothing. I got home on a Thursday. Murder Maggie's spending my dad's money on some vacation, right? And I'm outside, like, pushing the stroller with Gigi. And this girl says, oh, you trying to, you know how they have those trucks where they sell candy? And I stopped with her. Oh, did you try to hit me with your stroller? Why would I take my stroller and hit you? I don't even know who the fuck you are. Right? Like, just leave me alone. And I said, let's just go to the park. We were in the park watching guys play basketball. And out of my corner of my eye, I looked, and there are 7 girls with Vaseline on their face coming towards me. I'm not going to run, though, because they're coming towards me. They were like, I don't know, like 70 or 80 feet away. They were really far. And I said, are they really coming my way? I said, Gigi, let me handle this shit. They come up to me, Becky, you bumped Missy right here. Well, I said, why are there 7 of y'all? Okay, you want to fight? Yeah, we want to fight you. We? All right, cool. But check it out. I have my baby here. My daughter was 11 days old. She wasn't even 2 weeks. 11 days old. I am 16 years old with an 11-day-old baby. And 7 girls want to jump me. And because my brothers were all in jail, except for one. They were like rotating in jail, you know, a year, 4 years. They were like, oh, Becky's this just happened to me right now. They're like, you ain't got no family, we're gonna fuck you up, all this shit. They was talking to me. That's why they all dead, okay? It's so deep that I told you Scooter took me to court for order of protection because my brothers won't stop calling him. See my brothers right there. Michael. That's John. That's Arthur. My sister Jill. My son Charles. My dad right here. My uncle. You see the whole ceiling is full of my family. I don't fucking fuck with, like I said, y'all can do it too. You can access them too. You don't, because the Matrix tells you don't fuck with dead people. You're scared. All right, what I fuck with? You scared of dead, right? But you sit there and eat shit that kills you every day, making other niggas rich. All right? You sit there and you cry about your life, but you got all this stuff to be grateful for. That brings on death, complaining and bitching. If you're so scared of death, then live your best life. Let go of things that are hurting you. If you are so afraid of the dead and of death. Because the reality is, if you're not using this eye and you're not awake, you're asleep. And if you're asleep, you're dead. You're the night of the living dead. Now that I'm awake and I see it, I'm like, I saw when I was like really sick with him. I was like, what is going on? Everybody's so weird. But now that I'm cleared of all this shit, I did the work. When I go outside, of course, y'all see how people latch onto me. But it's wild because it looks like a movie, like The Matrix. Remember that movie, The Stepford Wives? That's how programmed everybody is. They're like, hi, Rebecca. Especially the closer I get to my neighborhood, when I see people, they go, hi, Rebecca, how you doing? I'm like, what kind of drug are you on? They're not high at all. Yes, they're on prescriptions, but just the weight of them not doing the work and the weight of the collision of trauma piling up, it has literally made them move. And then the fact that they eat processed foods. Everything they put in their mouth is either a takeout order or something that they did not make. So it's making them move like this. Look. They go like this and be like, hi, Rebecca. I'm like, oh. They say, oh, you're so hype. No, motherfucker, I'm so healthy. No, this is normal. What you're doing is not normal. Okay, you're being controlled. Somebody's getting... Do you think the people that... All that shit you're taking, they use that stuff? They don't. Matter of fact, I tell you, they don't even live on this level. They live way underground, like 10,000 billion feet under with their cars, way past the water lines. There is a whole city underground, even further down. I mean, do you think they started this earth with this layer? If you had some kind of power, why would you be on this level, right? Why would you be on this layer of the earth? Wouldn't you want to be lowered down so you don't have to breathe in the poison that they're blowing in the air? For the people that don't want to get fucked up, there's a billion ways to do it. So you have to constantly treat yourself. All right, so let's get down to the jumping. Back to the jumping, right? So I'm telling them, like, I have a kid. You know, I just had a kid 2 weeks ago. I know 2 of them. Selena and Missy I went to school with, right? But not for long because I didn't stay in any school very long. Yeah, but anyway, we don't like you, Becky. And I'm like, well, that's fine, but let me take my kid upstairs. Let me tell you what you don't do. You don't mess with a fucking mama bear. and her child. You don't do it. So I said, Gigi, before they even got close to me, I said, Gigi, take her. She's in a stroller. Just take her and move her to the side, and I'll take care of this. They come up to me, and you know what I did? I took the two that was in my face, and I just, okay, remember that I have, like, military training from my father and my brothers. Anytime I had to be best school, my brother was like, this is how you kill her, Becky. I don't want to kill her. I just want to beat her up. I'm like the craziest family. Y'all know there's people out there. You say, well, this person, I could never get anybody after anybody. I can't. Like I tell you, I'm protecting the fucking neighbor. I told it, I'm protecting you. Because niggas want to go up there with wigs and shoot all of you, the kids and all. And no, they don't want to do it for me. You know what they want to do? They want to act like they do it for me, but the reality is they are so unhealed, they just want to kill somebody. That's it. And the devil talks to them all day. And then the devil's telling them to say that to me. I'm going to look out for you and go kill them. For what? That would mean I'm scared. Nah, man, we're going to let this shit play out. I work with God and God only. No, you're not doing it. As a matter of fact, if you do it, I'm going to have to take you out before it even happens. This is going to play out the right way. Nobody's taking nobody's lives. I'm not, and I've had to do this a lot in my life because of that bitch kid I raised. She put me in some real dangerous shit. Why do you think I got shot in the head? Because of her. Stabbed in the face. Because of her. Okay. I'm sorry I'm skipping all over the place. You're just going to have to buy the books, right? So now, I'm telling the girls, like, what? And I just take their two heads and clunk them together. And one got, like, they got dizzy. I'm not kidding. With all my I have, like, superpowers. My whole family's like that. They got, like, superpowers. Like, Anunnakis and shit. And they just fell out, and the other 5 ran. And I literally was on both of them, back and forth, for about 20 minutes. You know, my brother's friends with playing ball, they didn't do shit. They didn't help. They didn't say, oh, this ain't right. Nothing. They were like, you got this. You got this. Okay, so now I'm bugging because now I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Oh, wait, one of them, Selena? I think I got to find out if Selena's still alive because I got to get her ass, right? Do you know what Selena did? While Gigi's holding my daughter, she goes and punches her in the face and tries to push the stroller on the floor and tip the fucking stroller and kill my baby. Right. I tell you, I've been under attack my whole entire life, right? For people I don't know. So they're on the floor completely unconscious, the 2 girls, right? And I just said, let's go, Gigi. What? Selena did that. Selena ran after she punched Gigi. I ran to my house. My brother John was there. One of my brothers was out, John. I said, John, they just jumped me. What? John is very studious and cool. He said, okay, Becky, just calm down. We're going to call my 2 crazy sisters. They don't even know I have sisters. Like I said, a lot of people don't know anything about me. I have 3 fucking big sisters. I'm the youngest of 8. I don't hang out with them or around them so you wouldn't know. John says, let's call Lori and Rosie. And they're like so fucking crazy. Rosie has like her weapon. Lori gets her bat. And we go to the building where Selena lives, right? And we standing there. And this is what Rumi just took out one of the last ones. I think Selena might be dead. No matter. I'm going to find her ass. But we stand there. And there's this Spanish girl named Tessie that she's like the butch of the neighborhood. But she's not gay at all. She just dressed like a dude. Because she want to act like she tough. Right? You won't be scared of her and shit. She ain't a lesbian. But she damn sure look like one, walk like one, act like one. Right? And she's like leaning up against the car. And I see Selena, like there goes Selena, but Selena runs in the building. Right? It's me and my 2 sisters. Selena runs in the building. Tessie, Rosie, I'm going after Selena, me and Lori. And Rosie says to Tessie, you have something to do with this? And Tessie goes, yeah, what if I? That's all she got out. What if I? And Rosie took her head and literally broke the car window, putting her head into the car window. And I don't even know what happened to her because I had grabbed Missy and I was on the floor with her beating her ass. I beat her ass so bad that my sister told me to stop. Becky, the cops are coming. Stop. You got to stop. She's unconscious. Look, and that's why I tell you it makes no sense to beat anybody up. Please, I've had so many deadly fights. And so what's the goal? It's the goal to, okay, you want them to stop fucking with you? You can pray that away with Archangel Michael, right? But what do you want? Like I say, if I have a gun, will you shoot them in the head? You want to stab them? Do you want to maim them? You want their teeth to be missing? Look, everybody that fuck with me, that's what I want them in the basement. I got to pour lye on them, acid. But then I told you, what if they go to heaven? The fact is, if you whip somebody's ass, guess where they're going? To the fucking hospital. You know what's going to happen? They're going to get morphine, oxycodone. They're going to be able to fill out a police report, right? The cops ain't coming after you, but they're going to call you and say, you need to come down to the precinct. They're going to do shit, right? But that's not the point. Now you have beef. You have created a war. Right? And let me tell you why. You never know who somebody is attached to. And it doesn't, not even that they love them. People just that are unhealed don't mind going around killing people. Okay? And they say, oh, they jumped you? All right, fine. So if you kill somebody, what if somebody they know knows about it, and now you got to look over your shoulder, right? That's called war. You can only have war with your reaction. If you pull out and you don't have there is no war, believe it or not. The war will be with them, wondering why the fuck are you so quiet? Why haven't you retaliated? I gotta plug my phone in. Why didn't you retaliate? You know how painful it is for somebody to do something to you and you don't retaliate? You do retaliate. You know how you retaliate? You fucking start trading in your bad habits for good habits. Then you actually heal your family's karmic debt. That's what I had to do. That was the only way I could get. Okay, when I went to heaven, all my brothers were there, my sisters and my son. My son wasn't even dead, but he was there. But the most killerest, deadly brother, Arthur, he wasn't there. He was in hell. I literally in 21 had to go get him. So we're going to be together as a family, and we're going to deal with this shit I'm dealing with as a family. And plus my father needed him. And my other brothers, they were all very close. And he was just very remorseful anyway, and he has a job to do cleaning up karmic debt too, through me, his sister. Now, if I would have retaliated with this neighbor, remember they were writing stuff down. I'm going to kill you, I'm coming to get you, leaving messages. Anytime I let somebody hear that shit, they were like, I'm going to get her, I'm going to tell her. But that was their own personal rage they had. It had nothing to do. You don't even know me. And you want to take a life from me? No. See how the devil works? He will get you the gun. He'll get you the knife. He will hook you up with anything you need to betray God. And you're really betraying yourself and your future. Do you know what happens after you fight somebody? You know how angry you are? You know how your heart is racing? Especially if you get older, you can actually have a stroke because you're mad at somebody. There we go with anger again. So it would be very beneficial if somebody is done, and I know all y'all out there have somebody that did some shit to you that you don't like, is to first of all breathe and ask yourself, why was that person in your life? That's not their fault. That's your fault. You got to be responsible for who the fuck you fell in love with, even if it's your son, your daughter, your mother. All these matrix notions, the blood is thicker than water. You believe the hype. You went along with the shit. You said, oh, that's my best friend. That's your fault, not theirs, for being who they are. That's like being mad at a dog because he's barking. Being mad at a baby because they're crying. That's who they are. You want them to be a certain way. That's called control. You want to control the situation. But you'll never have peace in this life if you don't relinquish control. And what I say is it's very easy to get your shit together, because when you realize that, you'll realize how much shit within you have to fix. Every time you have this feeling of wanting to kill someone, there you go. Go turn it back and say, oh, God, that's something I have to heal. Remember I told you I'm working on my emotions. Emotions are something that are so delicate. Like I said, somebody has to be able to come up to you and say, fuck you, you stupid slut. And you got to be able to pause, zone in on them, peep them out, and just yell out. Like I said, I didn't tell anybody you have AIDS. I'm really concerned, but I really didn't tell anyone. What do you think they're going to have to say after that? First, they're going to be shocked, because they were supposed to make you mad. It was supposed to make you fight back with them. You know, a narcissist loves fighting. They love negative attention. They love negative anything. It makes them feel special when you give them your time and you give them your attention. It really does, especially if you're fly. Now you're out of character. Plus, they have nothing to lose. Why are you fucking with somebody and interacting with somebody that has nothing? I got to get my charger. This bed is really high. I have to go like all the way down. You have to get to a place in your life, right, where your response is to literally trade it off, right? Everything, like I tell you, everything has to be traded. So if you got anger inside of you, you got to trade it. Get on the floor and do 100 crunches. Or do 50 sit-ups and 50 crunches. 50 crunches and 50 sit-ups. Make sure you have good music playing. And make sure you turn off your phone. I was buying all these phones. I love that my phone is hacked. I'm not going to unhack it. For what? You got to pay to talk to me and pay for me to be in, like, everything I do. I'm a walking brand. Like, everything has to be organized. I am so glad nobody has access to me and they cannot call me and I pick up and go, hi. Because people always asking me for shit. Always. That was one of the biggest blessings. You see what I mean? But you know how much money I spent because my ego was still in place? That shit is expensive. That's one of the most expensive things you'll own, is a fucking ego. Do you know what an ego is? An ego is something, people that hate themselves and they can't stand you, Or maybe they love you, but that's their love language is to hate you. You're taking your resources and spending it, even if it's on yourself, right? Because you want people to look at you a certain way. You're spending it on them so they could like you. But guess what? They keep changing their mind. They keep changing their mind. And things keep advancing and changing. So you see what I mean? The ego is a waste of time. Fighting and fist fighting is a waste of fucking time. When you don't retaliate and... Like right now, the police are not answering any call. Like I told you, if somebody's fucking with you, I don't care if it's your child. If somebody steal a nickel from you, document it and sue them. That's how you make it stop. And that's the answer. Take a picture. We're not in the 80s anymore. You have a place where you can document it, take a picture, and breathe, and figure out how the fuck they got in your life. Where did it start at? Right? And start repairing those things in your heart where you say, okay, I love my child, but she's a demon, and I have facts of that. Don't spend your life trying to change that child, man, because everybody has free will. I know that's hard information to understand, but when you start understanding that nothing in this world is ours, except for your brain. See this brain in here? That's yours. The heart, I have this art piece I'm working on, this heart. Like, the heart is the worst. It could be the best, but the heart's a liar. The heart's a fucking liar. It tells you, yes, I love her. It even tells you, I want to, this is mine. Oh, that's my car. That's my kid. That's my man. That's my pussy. That's my... The heart tells you that. The brain don't say that shit. The brain is logical. The brain uses science and math to make decisions. The heart does not. The heart is like this. Look. And this is why, if you have been irresponsible with your heart, you need to imagine pulling it out of your chest and say, here, put it in a suitcase, pack it up, and march it up to God and hand it to him. What he's going to do is put it in a safe and repair it. But he's not going to let you have it until you are a responsible earthling, okay? A responsible human. That means you make decisions with your mind and say, will this affect my heart in any way first? So that's where I tell you, got to pause before you answer somebody. You need to pause before. Act like you're in a movie. You know how movies say, I'll be right back. We're coming right back. Going to commercial. Say that shit in your head. The only reason why you answer it so quick is because that's part of trauma. Trauma makes you say, I got to hurry to go to the bathroom. I got to hurry to go to the store. Don't you do that? I got to hurry. That's what I'm coming out of. Like, I am so aware now that I don't have to hurry up and do shit. And I'm also aware that when things are taking a long time, that's just divine timing. That's the next phase of like me working on my emotions, is not saying that. Like today I was getting ready. I said, damn, it takes me forever to get ready. No, it doesn't. That's self-care I'm practicing. It doesn't take me forever. What's forever? And that's another thing. That's a lie. You say things to yourself that are not even accurate. Like you say, I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving. I can guarantee you have never starved a day in your fucking life, okay? Stop putting that energy into your bloodstream, because that's what it is. It's fucking up your DNA. It's making you think that you need things that you don't. It's making you feel a certain way. Even your birthday, we gotta celebrate. This guy said, why are you celebrating? I'm not celebrating at all. For what? For what? The first year, I was like, oh, I gotta have a big party, right? 21. 22, I gotta get a nice cake for me and my family. We're gonna blow out the candle, right? 22, I did it again. I actually have fun, but the cake was so unnecessary. I bought a big cake, but I like freeze it and shit. But guess what? I don't need to gain weight. That's number one. And I'm kind of tired of Anero's cakes too. I don't really like cake like anymore. Now that I'm awakened, that's another thing. Once you awaken, you won't want sugar. You can't drink alcohol. Like there's things that ruin your body. You won't want it. You won't desire it, you won't want it, and you can't even have it. I actually took the cake I had and just had a little piece like that. And then guess what? Because I don't eat sugar, I felt like this. Look, sugar is poison. Sugar is fucking poison, man. That shit, it eats away at your brain. And I felt like my brain started squeezing again like this. Just from this much cake. And I had a little piece of a cannoli, like this piece. As soon as I ate it, I felt like my body was in. But then I talked to that chick that was drunk, and her liquor felt like it went down my throat. That's how clean my system is, man. And like, you really do have to get on you don't have to do shit, but I'm suggesting that if you want peace in your life, take pride in the way you look. Go in your closet and take out the wedding dress tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you an assignment. I told this chick the other day. Because I saw her, she looked fucking homeless. Why do you look, you're beautiful with a mask on? Don't wear no fuck, what the fuck you still wearing a mask for, man? This shit is over. Because that's trauma. Trauma makes you, and then her mother probably told her she's ugly. So subconsciously, she's going to put a mask on. She want nobody to see. I see a lot of people like that. Wearing masks because their man was talking shit about them. Somebody that, was a warlock was talking shit and making them feel like shit. So they got to wear a mask. They got to wear all black. See the things you do subconsciously? Nah, break free from that. I want you guys to... I know everybody has been to some kind of special event. So that's a graduation, a wedding, something special, right? Not the ugly church clothes. A gown. I want you to wear it tomorrow with some high top boots. Or if you're a guy, put the suit on with some sneakers. Just to go to the store. Anything you're doing tomorrow, I don't give a fuck what it is. Wear it and make sure you have your shit groomed up. Make sure you get some baking soda and something and whiten your teeth as white as you can get them, right? And I want you to go on the Fabulous app because that'll help you do it. Download the Fabulous app. Pay the $20. It's $40, but if you opt out, it's $20. Pay it because there's coaching on it. You can join the Fabulous Circle. But you're going to say, I'm making my bed. I'm taking my vitamins. Look, I stopped doing it literally, and I was just laying here like this because I was too tired. I worked so hard. I can't even do it anymore. But now I'm getting back on my whole regimen and shit because I can't live without it. I have to have an assistant. It's an assistant. It's a digital assistant that tells you, it's time for you to brush your teeth. It's time for you to make up your bed. Remember, you're picking what you want. Don't pick too much. This is just like a healing path. Pick 10 things. It tells you I need to read. I need to study. I need to get off the internet. No screen time. It's the most amazing app. And then you're going to replace your pain with Elevate. The game Elevate. I do mine in the morning and at night. Do it for 5 minutes. You don't have to do it long. Just do it as daily games. But when you're intelligent, nobody can't fuck with you, man. They can't. And then, outside energy can't fuck with you. Because a lot of shit goes on where it's not actually a person, but just the energy and the voices in your head, like your past. Intelligence will override that. Okay? And then no ordering food, no looking, you're banned from looking at these are my Planet Temple rules. No news. What are you looking at the news for? You know that's what old people do because they're bored and they're a product of slavery. They're the first ascendants of that escape from slavery and they just, have a lot of shit in their head. They have a lot of stuff in their head that they just don't even know how to purge. And it's kind of too late for them because they're going to have to do the work and they will not. They're stuck. They're fucking stuck. And so the news makes them feel comfortable. It's like something they can relate to. It happens to all of us. Look, I catch myself now that because I didn't have TVs for 3 years, right? And I got my TVs on and now I have access to YouTube. I didn't know about it, but I have to watch out for, police shows. I couldn't believe how much shit is on there. It's 1 trillion channels of good stuff and bad stuff. And the bad stuff are crime shows. Don't look at please don't look at any of it. I know you're like, oh, but it's so interesting. Y'all seen it a billion times, man. It's familiar to you. It's keeping you feeling in that zone where you feel safe. Where you feel like, oh, my sister got killed. Well, let me look at somebody else's sister get killed. Remember that pain that you have is a collision that backed up. So the car didn't even come out yet. The car's all, and your body's all banged up from the shit hitting you. So you don't want to do that. You're healing all your past traumas. However old you are, it's more. I'm sure you guys are over 20, right? So it's 2 decades old. Actually, it's 3. Let me tell you why. Because it's embedded in your DNA. It happened before you were born. So I always go back an extra 10 years because your family member didn't do the work, right? So now it literally on both ends came out in your DNA. To be an alcoholic, to be a drunk, to listen to the Matrix, to get married, to have a child. Look, when I meet people that don't have kids, I'm like, congratulations. Damn, you dodged a bullet. Woo-wee, you dodged a fucking bullet. Kids ain't what they cracked up to be. And let me tell you why. Because you're having babies by people that are not healthy. And even if they are healthy, their families are not healthy. And with knocks around, they want to take your fucking child and mess up their mind. So the child attacks you. And if that child makes that decision, you got to drop that kid, man. You better drop that. I don't care if they're fucking 12 years old. You need to start limiting the time you spend with them because your kid is possessed. And there's actually nothing you can do about it. That kid would have to pray and ask God to take the demons out their head. That's just the way it is. You know what's funny? Because remember I told you guys I have adult adoption. But now that I'm completely healed, and next, it'll be 5 years. I'm on my 4th year, so I have about a year left, right? I realized I don't know that I want adult adoption because that would have to tie me into the Matrix having to have a fake-ass grandmother and a fake-ass sister. What the fuck I want that for? It's okay for us to be in the world and just have friends and associates, and I don't want to be tied to anybody like that. I swear to God, I don't. So maybe I'll have it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think so, because I'm running from the matrix. Like, I'm not just running from it. I'm shielded from it, because like I told you, Port, in America, we don't have family. Okay, just so you know. You know what's nice about people in the Middle East? Their families are like this. They love their mothers. They love their siblings. They love their uncles. They really base their life around love. I tell people that are jealous of Americans because we American, right? They don't know that we don't have fucking families. We don't have family. If we did, they're fighting. They're like suppressing us. They're making fun of us. They're talking shit about us. We don't. And Europe is like that too. Europeans are like that too. Like Americans. They don't have no fucking family either. Their family is whack. And like, so that, you got to come to the realization that we in this life to do it by ourselves. And actually, what do you think animals, you got to live like an animal. You know what animals, they don't get high. They don't lie. They don't steal. They don't desire certain things that the earthlings desire. They don't have an ego. They don't have pride. They just want to dance, go out, walk, be healthy, eat healthy, because animals can't eat. It'd be a crazy thing, right? If you get a dog, if you guys are not having the life you want, or you have a child you want, get rid of them and get a fucking dog and take that money and put it into the dog and make that dog your best friend. And watch what happens. Watch what happens. This dog saved my life. You see, she's my dad. He came back. When they pushed me, when I was dead, and they pushed me back into my body, you know how I woke up, right? The priest was blessing me to pull the plug, throwing holy water on me. I was like, thank you, it works. Thank you. You can take all this shit off now. Do you know when I was in the ICU, I actually got up with all these wires. I had two big things so I could touch the other patients. That's what they were calling me, Miracle Girl. They were like, you're Miracle Girl. I had like 300 people visit me, strangers, in the hospital telling me I was Jesus. Do you know that everybody survived in the ICU? Everybody, because of you, Rebecca. And the product I had, they told me, one doctor, you can't use this product. It's making all the machines go off like 4 floors up, 5 floors down. I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. Because he's the killer. You motherfuckers don't believe me. It's him. I wrote it in a paper with an arrow. It's him. And they took it and threw it out. And shit. So I know I didn't finish all my stories. Oh, let me just finish this last story with the girl, right? So once my sister put that girl's head in the windshield, Selena came downstairs with her fucking mother. What y'all doing out here? Y'all know Black Mouth. What y'all doing out here? What? Get her. I said, Lori, get her. And me and Lori started chasing her. We got her ass in the building. Guess what Selena did? Selena ran in the building and held the door and didn't let her mother in. She left her mother outside. A narc, right? Well, you jumping a girl that you don't even know with a baby. Of course you're going to get your mother. She left her mother outside and locked herself in the lobby and wouldn't open the door. That was okay. Lori started beating her mother's ass with the bat. I got a couple of kicks in. And I wanted Selena though. And I opened that fucking door. She couldn't get my strength. And beat her ass. And her mother was on the floor. We left them bleeding. Then I went back and beat Missy's ass some more. That's when my sister said, Becky, you got to get off. The cops are coming. And we ran. And then my Murder Maggie was like out of town somewhere. And my father was like, Beck, the cops came here for you. You got to take Jazzy and go to Lori's house. Right the next building. Okay, fine. Then I said, you know what? This is crazy. I got jumped. So I said, me and Gigi, let's go to the police station. I like to deal with things head on, right? I go to the police station, said, I heard y'all looking for me. I am a 16-year-old girl, right? With a, 12-day-old baby. Maybe she was 2 weeks at that time. It was a few days, right? And they were like, but Missy's in the hospital. She's been there for, quite some time, and she's not getting out anytime soon. What did you use? My hands. My fucking hands. Right? And then the other girl is sitting in the hospital, even though she went home. She was there for 1 day, but the other girl is done. And I said, well, I got jumped, and she's doing, and not only that, y'all should be arresting them for jumping me. They jumped me with the baby and tried to attack my child. The cops didn't do shit. They didn't arrest them. They didn't arrest me. They said, okay, well, we're just going to let it go because you were right. You were in the right, but because she's in the hospital, it doesn't matter. I have witnesses, like 50 billion witnesses that saw how it went down, right? And like I said, I don't have a criminal record. Let's do that shit in the trash. And then the hits kept coming. I go in the group home and the girls are fucking with me. And I had to beat her ass. That's why they kicked me out. I pulled the girl's eye out of her head and threw that shit down the hall. I didn't get arrested for that. And they called my parents in for that shit. You know what the fucking nun told me? She goes, Rebecca, you're the reason why there's wars. 2 girls tried to jump me while I'm cooking dinner for everyone. And because I, defended myself once again, yeah, but it went too far. Yeah, well, I snapped out. The security cars couldn't even get. I was on her for, here we go, another 20 minutes. I just need 20 minutes. Like I said, all that fighting shit is so stupid. Like, if you come from violence, of course, that's your first thing you want to do is beat somebody's ass, right? I'm going to kick y'all ass. Do you know where that shit stems from? The beating of the ass? From slave master. That's where it comes from, the slaves. That's why your mother or father is using an iron. Why the fuck are you using a whip on me? Why are you beating your child? That's a big fucking deal. Beating your child because they're not doing something. All you're doing is making them resistant to pain. So when you see people fight, you see what they say, I'm going to beat your ass. Doesn't your mother say that when she's going to whip your ass? When she did whip your ass? People are repeating the same cycle because the reality is that mother is still around and has never acknowledged that she was committing an act of violence, which is child abuse. She will never come clean. And I'm sorry, what I did was wrong. Those are the skills I had. So you, in your brain, will just chuck it up like she did her best. That's all she knew. Make an excuse for her fucking wicked ass, right? Because of that, when somebody has a beef that's her race, whatever that race is, you'll see them fighting. Look, if you go to China, go on X right now, and you put in people fighting in China, you always see the same race fighting. People fighting in Israel, people fighting in Africa, people fighting in America, you'll always see them fighting the same race. Because the reality is people have beef with their mother or their father, an authority figure that it was never resolved. So you'll go through your life repeating that cycle of the fighting because basically you're kicking your mother's ass. When you think about a fight, what did that person do that was so bad? The crime doesn't fit the punishment, It doesn't fit the punishment. So you always have to go back to what the Bible says. God says, vengeance is mine. Do you really think you can outbeat God? You can't. It's impossible. He is way and beyond anything you can touch, and he's very clever. He'll make sure they get in a car accident. He'll shut them down. But especially when you keep a pure heart and you ask him for help. And you say, God, I'm going to use my angels. That God has the 7 archangels guarding this earth and making moves for us. We're not here alone. You don't need family. And then even your family is here to help you out and make shit happen. I can prove that. Like I said, when I put this story together, it's so insane. It's going to go viral, but I don't want to go viral now. Because when I go viral, I have to have all my businesses together. Because what happens when you go viral? You have podcasts, especially with me, this shit is insane. And it's just a lot. And you have to get an agent, depending on where you add in. I'm fly like that. I know about business, and I've been an actress my whole life, and entertainer my whole life. I know what I have to do, especially what just happened. It's so intense. Okay, I know what this is, right? All right, I'm gonna end this, but I felt the need to tell you guys, if you have narcs around, don't worry, you'll see all the stories in ebooks. I just had to give you a little taste, but really, Spirit was telling me today, please get online and tell these people, there's a lot of people out there getting poisoned by their loved ones. It could be your children. My kid was poisoning me when she was younger, putting shit in I had the same thing happen to me with him. Same thing. And now they all got together as one conglomerate and just finally accomplished the goal, which is everything for a shaman. I have to die in order to ascend. So it all had to happen. And let me tell you, God made it look so flawless and so amazing. It wasn't. Trust me, it wasn't. It was painful. It was crying. It was... Like I said, I went to see if my emotions are together by looking at my pictures from what just happened to me 3 years ago, and I bust out crying. I was like, I saw the pictures when I'm in Turkey, all my teeth are out, and they're reconstructing it, and I had wires coming out of my legs, and I was just me and Rumi. And I'm again, I was all in pain. It was so much fucking pain. And I always have to remind myself that I'm healing every day. I'm getting stronger every day. I'm at my goals. But God told me 5 years. I'm on the 4th year, so 1 more year, and you ease into it. You work on yourself every day, right? And just remember, if you gotta go into your karmic DNA, you are signing a contract with Satan, and you're not gonna win. Now you gotta ask God for forgiveness. You gotta repent, and you can't just say, I'm sorry. No, you have to go back and repay for that sin, whatever that sin is. That could be a lifetime. When the reality is, if you practice some discipline and some mindfulness and some calmness, right? You ain't got to do none of that shit. You can take that pain and do a bunch of crunches, a bunch of sit-ups like this. That motherfucker. Take it out on self-improvement. You're going to have so much burning in your stomach or your back, whatever muscle you're working out. that you're not going to have time to fucking answer to this stupid person, place, or thing. Remember, a person, a place, or thing. But before I leave you guys, you know I got to leave out with a boss board, right? A boss brain enhancing board. And this one is like one of the first ones I got when I was coming out of this. It's really good stuff. This place is amazing, right? Look. Planet Blue Temple. This is what heaven looks like. Look, this is what heaven looks like. Yes! Right here. Look, you see? Inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person, an event, or event to control your emotions. Your emotions. And you will never obtain peace in the outer world until you make peace with yourself. You gotta make peace. And remember this one too. Look. I am the daughter of a king who is not moved by this fucking world. Alright? Because you're his. That's right. God is your father. You can say, I don't have a dad. Yes, you do. You have God. Are you kidding me? God is your father. And he's going to take care of you. God is source. Okay? So you stop. That's called complaining. If you don't like something, just remember that's called complaining. You know what's wild, right? Because now that it's 2025, like this is my 4th year, and now I have a really good treatment for my brain injury. I want to show you. I saw all these people when I was dead. Look, Kobe Bryant. I saw him. I got 2 from Kobe Bryant. Look, I have nothing in common with lazy people who blame others for their lack of success. Great things come from hard work and persevering. No excuses. But I saw Kobe, and he told me, Rebecca, you're being sacrificed. They sacrificed me. Why? And I saw Martin Luther King. He's in here too. And I saw JFK. I have everybody that I saw when I was dead. That's pretty astounding, right? And then right here is where I died. See the body? I have to put, I'm putting crime scene tape. See? I took everything that happened and like put it in the planet. Why not? And I got to start my whole exercise regimen. I got my bars up. But I want to put the rest up, and I have to complete the floors. I have to epoxy them. I'm not rushing for anything. Everything is going nice and smooth. Remember, everything is divine timing. Give yourself grace. You know what grace is? When you give yourself a break. Because when you heal, it's like this. Look, this is healing. It's like pop locking. It's not a straight line. It's not an up line. But you don't want to have to free fall trying to help somebody. Oh, well, come with me. You can't bring anybody with you. That's another rule. When you're healing and you're ascending and you're opening this eye, you can't bring anyone with you. No one. It's a solo. Maybe you can meet them on the other side if they make it there. But believe it or not, you met them with that child abuse brain. I don't give a fuck if it's your child. You still had a child abuse. It was something you produce with an abused brain. You know what abused brain is worse than being fucking drunk? Because at least when you're drunk, you become sober at some point, right? But you made decisions and accumulated things when you weren't in your right mind. So you will not have the same desires, the things you want, so let things fall off, let things go away, and let God replace everything. God lets you keep everything. Satan will not. He will not. He toys with your ass. And Satan is real quick. He makes you do everything real quick, so you don't see it. He doesn't want you to see anything. He doesn't want you to examine anything. All right? But just take everything cool, take everything easy, and you're going to see a lot more of me. I'm going to be doing a lot more shows. But please, if you guys live with a narc, these narcs are going crazy right now because they're feeling it. I'm telling you, they're feeling it. And they want to take as many beautiful empaths, loved ones with them. So do not use your lotion, your soap, your shampoo, nothing. If you have something, put it like in a bag and just put it away. Hide it under your mattress. Anything you're putting on your skin, anything you're eating, anything in your fridge. And make sure you tell them the 5 lies, okay? The first lie, call the main knock up and tell her you have brain cancer. You just found it, not a cancer, brain tumor. You have a tumor. Don't say it's cancer. It's a tumor because a tumor is cancerous, right? And you're starting to get headaches and you're forgetting everything. Just act like you're fucking stupid. You get like this. Look, I was just actually like this. And they were doing and saying shit right in front of me. Right? The second lie is you were outside and you met somebody and they gave you a rock. Don't say it's crack. Remember, you're stupid. And it was just fun. It just made me feel really good. You know, just start talking like this. It just made me feel really good. Right? And then the third lie is you have HIV. You found out you're HIV. I can't believe I'm HIV positive. Because when I was doing the rock, I met the guy and then we had sex and that. And well, now I'm HIV positive, right? The fourth lie is you were walking down the street and the cops whipped your ass and accused you of doing something you didn't do, but they beat your ass. Now you have a case downtown. And the fifth lie is you are a very inexpensive prostitute. You're selling your ass, man or woman, dick pussy, but make it like something stupid, like it was $8.75, $12, something really cheap. And tell the 5 narcs that you have in your life, and make sure you say, please don't tell anybody. I trust you. Keep this between us. And I'm so embarrassed. Don't tell anybody, right? And then all the 5 things, like when you're cancer, you're actually outside jogging and running. Or you're doing your studies, right? Because they're not going to let you can't get your shit together with these motherfuckers. They know what you get ready to do. Man, if they know you're dying, they're going to get so much joy at watching you wither away. You only got 1 year to live. Just 1 year. That's it. And then you'll be able to lock your bank accounts down, everything down quietly. You won't be attacked. You won't be like attacked at all. Because if they know you're getting away, they're going to fuck up your phone, take your bills, your car, poison you, all kinds of shit. But if you have cancer, you're a prostitute, you're a crackhead, you have a case already because they like you to be downtown in some kind of court case with the police accusing you of something you didn't do, right? And then you're a prostitute and you're so stupid you don't even know how to sell your pussy. You're selling it for cheap. You dumbass. You got this motherfucker. Yeah, tell him that you got punched in the face by him too. He whipping your ass. Some kind of domestic violence. Say that's happening. You know they're going to do anything. Why do you have people like that in your life? That's really dangerous to have somebody like that in your life. That you are telling them all this stuff and they do nothing about it. They're going to say they got to go to store. They got to go to work. Their life is, what's going on is more important than what you have going on. Now, if they told you that, what would you do? You'd be right there for them, right? See, you got to be responsible for who you fell in love with. You made bad choices. No, you didn't make bad choices. You made choices with a child abused brain. That's where it came from. So now that we know what it is, it's that important that you fix it. It really is. It's like, I need to fix this because, and don't have any kids, man. There's a lot of karmic debts out there. You ever wonder why you see so many babies drop dead? You be like, oh my gosh, she was in a car and she was just driving, the kid died. Look, most people don't even know who they're having a baby by. Okay, y'all know my story. My brother, his baby's mother, he died when she was 3 months in the belly, right? And she's a heroin addict in the neighborhood. He sold drugs, and she's not from down here. She went to school, private school in Germany. See what karmic debt is? Look at my son. He took 1 pill, and it died at 17. And his father his first kill was at 17, same age, right in the head. He shot his friend. Okay, so what I'm saying, karmic debt is here. It's out here. What you have to do is not reproduce because you're just setting yourself up for the matrix. Do you see what's happening with kids, man? Even if you have an amazing life, you really have to reevaluate what you're eating, what's being put in their mouth, where they're going to go to school, how much you got to evaluate if they need dental care, all this shit before you make a fucking baby. That's how people get stuck. They're like wind up with stuff they don't want. They're like, I didn't think about it. Even though when I met him, his teeth were crooked. Now my kid needs dentures. Now my kid, it's just like it's so much to tally up. But you can, when you get a new brain and you open up this eye, then you'll see what you want. If not, you're just having a baby in your sleep. Night of the living dead, man. And like I said, the old world's fucking closed. It's getting ready to completely shut on the 5th year, which is 2026. We have the new world completely opening and the old world done. And I can tell you right now, it's going to be a fucking madhouse. You ain't going to be able to even walk down the street without getting shot or stabbed or raped or robbed. Unless you want to be part of the new temple, the new planet. I'm not just mine, but it's a personal journey. Even though I have the most highest level of protection, darling. And Rumi too. Look at Rumi. Rumi did all this modeling today. Hey, girl. Oh, look, she's sleepy. Look at my baby. She's sleepy. You're sleepy. I won't bother you. You want your blankie? I got her a nice little comfy blankie. Her blankie. Oh, that's her little blankie. Okay, the Rumi. You go back to sleep. You good girl. Look, let me tell y'all, the first year y'all do this shit, make sure you plan your crying too. Make sure you have a salt bath. Go to Amazon and get some red lights. Red lights with the, you can turn it red, green, orange. Change the lighting. That helps with your brain. Get some bakaba. I know I'm like, get this, get that. But y'all don't know I'm on this journey. It's so amazing because I fucking was cross-eyed. Look, I'm not cross-eyed anymore. This eye was all the way in. It's still a little, no, it's not, right? That's even. This eye was all the way at my corner right here. You fix anything. But look how many supplements I take a day. Look. You want to see? Look. Isn't that intense? Those are all great. And that's just the pill form. And then I have the liquids up here. Look, all liquids. Liquid vitamins. Brain vitamins, bakaba, sea moss, bee pollen, I'm gonna have every moringa. There's a billion things to take. See, that's what I did. Take the plane, replace. I had to. I was gonna die when he would say I was going. I had one more day to live. I was actually literally gonna lay and just drop dead because they even had the poison on the floor. That's why Rumi had poison. She got 9 poisoning before she's 1 year old. And the first dog, 3 days, she's dead. So I've been through the ringer and I only went through it, so y'all don't have to go through it. And if you're in it, like I said, the dude that I called, his mother said, call him. You know, the mother's dead, right? Make a call my son, please. He tells me the father is suddenly sick when he wants to break up with his wife. And I said, oh my God, cut his hair, go to the doctor and give it to them. And of course they said, yeah, you saved his life. That bitch is poisoning him. Okay? And like I said, I met 5 more people today, same exact story. So if you feel sick, it's an 80% chance your loved one that you've been bickering with is poisoning you. They can even be like really nice and be like, hi, but you already know. You already know. You should be online stuttering what the fuck a narc is. What is narcissism? Once you look at that and start studying that, you'll be home free. And now you'll be ready to do the work so you can move into a new dimension, a new timeline. You don't have to live on this dimension. Y'all know that, right? You're only living on it because you were born in it. So now it's time to kill that person, let that person die, and you're going to rebirth into a new version of something you've never... I can't even say yourself because it'll be something you've never been before. And if somebody is... What happens is when you're leveling up and changing your life, Satan sends a bunch of ugly-ass, no-neck, dirty jean-wearing warlocks to fuck with you. But they can't fuck with you like that. You know what I mean? Just remember that. They're not in your face doing it. God has his angels blocking everything. The only way they could do it is if you let it in. All right? You allowed it. You have people say, oh, you're an asshole. Yeah. And you have AIDS. How about that? And I didn't tell anybody. I kept that to myself, being a good friend to you. See how you switch it around? But you can only do that shit. Be strategic when you're able to think like this. Once you'll clear everything up, the new hustle is suing everybody that did you wrong. You don't pay taxes on lawsuit. Okay, darling? And you don't need don't you dare get a lawyer. All you need is pictures, videos, emails. Start collecting that shit right now. Pictures, videos, email from all your dirty narcs and everything they're doing to you. Because I'm telling you. And then you may not get any money from them because anybody that acts like that, they don't make no money. It doesn't matter. The doctors, insurance companies, when you clear up your head, you're going to be shocked at how many entities and places are down with your downfall. And how many people you can sue. And how many things they use. Especially if you want a prescription. Pharmaceutical companies get ready to get hit so hard. Because like I said, they was giving me drugs they don't even make. They don't even make 400 milligrams of morphine. And even if they say, why the fuck are you giving me that? With oxycodone, diazepam, Ambien, Seroquel, Sama, Sofras, heart pills. I couldn't pee anymore. They said, just give her a pee pill. And I'm shitting on myself. Just put her in a diaper. But a tube in my stomach. I'm on a breathing machine. That's what I'm coming out of, breathing machine. Tube in my gallbladder. I have all these tubes and wires coming out of me, and they're all cursing me out and strangling me and molesting me, grabbing my ass, grabbing my titties. It was, like I said, it was a necessary thing I had to go through. I had to be tortured like Jesus. You know I was born early on Easter, right? The doctor said, Miss Williams, she has to be born on this day, 1 month early. That's not a coincidence. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want y'all, trying to find me. Rebecca, please heal me. My mother's dying. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Let her go. It's fine. She'll die, and then she can help you out. All right? All right, guys, so have a nice night. I'm going to go, and you'll be hearing lots from me. But go to Planet Blue Haze. Y'all can actually buy the product of the thrills. Don't try to mess with the art yet. I'm working on that. I'm still setting up my studio, but I'm almost there. I actually just started. I was working the last 2 days. I use a lot of supplies. So that's coming, but you can still get the blood cleaner to clean your blood. And once you clean your blood, you don't have no disease, no stretch marks, no scars, no bruises. Plus, it makes you happy and hyper and all. Because once everything heals and your cells are being replaced, it just gives you this new sense of energy. Because remember, I've had all these surgeries. You don't see no stretch marks on my body, nothing. Look at that. And I have not worked out yet. But it's coming, darling. Okay? All right. Say goodbye to Rumi, my baby. Look, I'm going to disturb her. I'm going to lay down in my temple and rejuvenate myself under my red light therapy, darling. All right, let me say goodbye to all you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure y'all go to my channel, Rebecca the Fabulous Planet on YouTube, and join the channel. All right, see y'all later. Have an amazing night. And no distractions. If somebody's telling you somebody's dead, somebody just dead, tell them, well, guess what? I just found out I have a tumor. They're never going to call you again. And that's the point, all right? Whatever tragedy they're telling you about, don't say, I'm not going to answer the phone no more. No. Tell them something so fucking wild that has something to do with illness, sickness, like you needing money. Nobody bothers you. Look, let me tell you something. Nobody calls a crackhead, and nobody borrows from a crackhead, and nobody goes to a crackhead's house, and nobody can ask a crackhead for shit. Okay? They'll leave you the fuck alone. Just don't call it crack. It's a rock that you're smoking, and you're not paying for somebody to give you like that. And don't forget to laugh. You know, that stimulates dopamine. Dopamine helps you heal. You know, make sure you guys are paying attention to your cortisol levels. Because if you're feeling down and depressed, your cortisol levels are too high. Look, even if they're not, make sure you're taking magnesium every night. You don't know how good I sleep. I finally found the perfect sleep combo. Valerian root, cherry, dark. These are pills, right? Take the supplement. Tart cherry, valerian root, melatonin, kava kava is what they use in the jungle. It's like you're trying to pull that shit, but I have a whole bunch of it. Kava kava, right? That's like a hallucinant. It makes you feel like really good. But it's a natural plant, right? And then melatonin. That's what I take 5 at night. I take like 3 each at night. And I sleep like a baby. But the thing about going to sleep, the thing is you want to wake up real vibrant and real like, yay, I feel great. And that's what magnesium does for you. So, all right. So I'm going to go. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. And stay fabulous, darling.